guys, what's good? It is your girl Moniie Talks. Thank you for pressing play on my channel. I'm here to speak all things in life, whether it is love, whether it's spirituality, whether it's religion, relationships, you name it. Anything that you are thinking, I'm probably gonna speak about it. So before I go any further, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. And if you enjoyed today's video, please like, comment and share. So for those of you who have been watching me on Instagram, I have been doing these videos now for about just over a year, and some of the topics I have kind of touched base on, but it's like as life goes on, I have a new experience and I get more knowledge and I'm like, I have to share this. Recently, I had a bummy moment. Like, I'm gonna be honest, we all have a moment where we're like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I don't want to get out of bed. I wake up and I think about relaxing. That's the first thing I do, and I am nowhere near the goals that I have set for myself for me to be so chilled. So I kind of had to like sit down and be like, girl, what's going on? Like, is there something bigger? Do I need to speak about some things? What is really happening that you are not pushing and trying to make the things happen in your life that you said you want to achieve by a certain point? And I know many of us probably do this thing where we put like pressure on ourselves to achieve certain goals by a certain age, whether it's having that relationship, having kids, having a home, whatever it may be, career, whatever. A lot of us are putting pressures on ourselves to kind of reach the goals that we've set for ourselves, and there's absolutely nothing wrong for reaching your goals and making yourself hit your potentials, but we need to allow ourselves the time to do so. So before I rush, because I feel like I'm speaking really fast, I'm speaking fast, let me slow down. I shared with you guys last week that I got made redundant. If you haven't watched that video, I will link it at the end of this video. But I recently got made redundant, as many other people have, in the middle of the pandemic. I've had a weird shift. I've had a weird shift in myself where I kind of feel like when I was about 20, I thought my life at 26 was going to be completely different to what it is now. And I'm here now and it doesn't look anything like what I've imagined. And I speak to some people around me and they literally say the same thing. So rather than actually saying, okay, let me sit down and analyze what I could be doing different and do that difference, I've literally just been applying for jobs, sitting in my bed, figuring out what is it that I want to do. The hard part of this was there is not one thing that I want to do. And I've mentioned this before. Most creatives and most people are never going to just do one thing in their life. So when it comes to job hunting for someone like myself, it's almost like, where do I even start? What do I want to go into next? What skills do I want to develop in myself? So I hit a hard place where it was like having to face myself and really get a new understanding of this person who's transitioning. A lot of us go through transitional periods and don't realize that that uncomfort and that demotivize? That's not a word. Not motivated, not being motivated. A lot of us go through periods not feeling motivated to do and attain the things that we really want to get in life, and we sometimes just assume it's a matter of we're not motivated, as opposed to we need to figure out the new attributes of this transitioning person. So I've accepted that I'm in a phase of my life where things are shifting. I'm about to step into a new career, whatever it may be. When I get a call for a job, I have the freedom to do and put time into things that I might not have as flexible to do when I am working. So everything can kind of shift. Everything can shift potentially for the better. There might be things that I might have to put on the back burner and focus my attention elsewhere. Who knows? I'm going to find out probably sometime next week. When we are going through this transitional period, it is okay to not know what you want and okay to not fully understand what it is that you need. I say this because I've had so many conversations with my sister this week about myself in a completely non-selfish way, but just trying to gain her perspective and understand what it is that I can do to really push myself to be motivated again, to understand these new attributes that I need to, so I can fall into my greatest purpose. We are very much in a time where a lot of things are being exposed. I said before we even entered this year that as much as everyone was like, yeah, 2020 is the year of greatness, and I said it's the year of clarity and it is the year of exposure. And Lord knows so much has been exposed for the good and for the bad. But let's talk about what's been exposed for the good. There has been so many skills that a lot of us have been able to attain in this year. A lot of new interests that we might have found, new business ventures that we have gone into. So I needed to really take the time and ask those questions to my sister to find out what it is that I needed and have to pay attention to, so I can do the things for this next season in my life. If I'm not being clear on what I'm saying, I do apologize. We often get to a point in our lives where we look at our age and we assume that certain things should be here by now. I want to encourage anyone watching this video now to question yourself and really find out, have you done everything in your power that you could have done to make sure that you are reaching the side of yourself you pictured and envisioned before you got there? Have you done everything? Have you studied everything you need to study? Have you interned? Have you trialed doing things that you thought, maybe it's for me, maybe it's not? Have you physically, in your power, done everything it is that you need to do to meet the you that you envisioned, that you came across before you fell into that present moment? Because a hard realization that I got was that I haven't done everything that I could to get to all my goals. I haven't studied everything that I could. I haven't put all the work in. I haven't taken the time and patience with myself with the consistency to match to see the end result that I know I truly deserve. And I think sometimes in having these expectations of what it is we should have or where it is we should be, we do need to have a side of us that's able to step back and say, okay, in all fairness, have I done the following? Very often we get to a place where it's like, okay, I should be having a relationship, I should be having kids, I should be out of my mum's house, I should be financially free. Whatever it is that you have told yourself you should have at this age, are you wholeheartedly making sure that that is your priority, to reflect in that in your day-to-day life? If financial freedom is something that you're saying you want, are you spending wisely? Are you sticking to your budgets? Are you making sure that clearing your debts is a priority? Are you making sure you're not having FOMO and buying the latest because you want to keep up with a circle of people, as opposed to being humble with the gadgets that you have that work and allowing yourself to save more money? If it is a relationship, are you at a point in a relationship within yourself where you truly understand what it is that you want from life long term? You truly understand the things that make you happy. You truly understand the things that you need that will sustain you in a long-term relationship outside of having a second person. And when I say that, I asked on my Instagram, I probably think it was about 6 months ago, I did a poll and I asked, how many of you truly know what makes you happy? And the amount of people that didn't know what made them happy was shocking. And the reason I asked it is because I was asked it, and it took me a while to figure it out. But in figuring it out, that meant that I had to actively do things that made me feel good and get a true understanding of that. Sometimes we want things that are bigger than the position that we're in, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it is impossible to achieve those goals. It doesn't mean that it is not going to happen because your end goal looks so much huger than the current pedestal that you're on. It just means we have to start taking some kind of accountability and start taking responsibility for the steps that we need to take in order to get to that bigger goal that we can envision. The moment that you're able to see things, I say this time and time again, I'm such an imaginative person. Like, everything that I want in this life, I pretty much envision it first, go on Pinterest, you name it, Google whatever resource that I can, and just look at images and look at myself in those images and literally visualize heavily. I'm big on that. Most water signs are. Shout out to my fellow Cancerians, or water signs in general. Generally, anything that you're capable of seeing and visualizing means you're capable of doing. Your higher self is not going to show you yourself in positions if you cannot get there. But you need to be willing to take the steps. You need to be willing to take the time and have patience with yourself. And the reason why I wanted to say this today is because when I was feeling low, when I was feeling bad, I would have absolutely loved to hear this from someone. I would have absolutely loved to hear, you know what, it's okay to have this bad day. It's okay to not be certain right now of what it is that you want, because you'll figure it out. Just be sure and be willing to put the time and patience in needed to achieve the things you want. Because we go through times where sometimes, especially now where everything's so messy, it seems like having the basics in life is so far-fetched that having the fantasy side of things in life seems damn near impossible, and it's not. That is definitely not the case. You are still 150% capable of making these things happen. I spoke about this in my Finding Your Purpose video, and I just want to continue to encourage anyone, if you have gone through a redundancy, if you would like to change your career, if you're a little bit uncertain of what it is that you want right now, if you're trying to soul search, if you're looking for a relationship, whatever it may be, take the time with yourself. Ask yourself these questions. Why do I want this? It's super important to know why you want something in life, because it continues to give you a reason to make it happen. Why do I want this thing? What do I need to do to make these things happen? Who can I look at who has made these things happen? What can I do differently to make this journey my own? That fourth one is important because we are not looking for carbon copies of each other. Everything that someone does here, we want a unique version. I am pretty damn sure that you can find a million versions of motivational speakers and people just sharing life experiences, amazing life coaches online, amazing presenters online, but I'm me and you're you, and that is what is going to make your journey different to everyone around you who's doing that thing that might stop you from wanting to continue because you're saying everyone else is doing it, someone else is already doing it. No one else doing it because no one else is you. So if you're low right now, take some time out, pick your head up. If you've got a friend that you can call or a family member you can speak to them. Take some time out over this weekend. If you can, set some new intentions. There's a new moon coming in. Set some intentions for the next month. Figure out what it is. Small goals. I want to challenge you with small goals for now. Figure out what it is that you want to achieve over the next month and watch that flourish when you actually put your energy into something minor, so you know that the major is possible. Another thing I want to leave you with today before I wrap up, when you're in the process of figuring out what it is that needs to be done to get to where you want to be, don't try and fast track it. Sometimes we do need to go down a proper route to get the things that we need. We can't fast track our greatness. We just have to be willing to ride out that journey because it's going to be so worth it in the end. So again, I'm encouraging and sending love to anyone who's in a position right now where they're potentially struggling, they're going through transition, they're unsure of what they want, or they're feeling physically let down by the universe. Take some time out of your day, figure out the 4 questions that I asked you, and really make it a thing over the next month to set some intentions and make them happen. I'm wishing you the best of luck with everything. I'm sending lots and lots of love. If you haven't, please watch some of my other videos. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm super appreciative of that. Follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and I will see you for my next video.